Hello everyone and welcome to yet another video about Tana, and this time how I use GPT-3 connected to Tana. I actually use it by connecting it using something called ScriptKit, which is written by John Lindquist, and I created a little script that will allow me to integrate GPT-3 with Tana. I use it for several small things which I'll demonstrate. Some of them. The most basic one is just answering simple questions like, what is CRISPR? You select all of the text and then there's a shortcut that will actually trigger ScriptKit, which will send it to the API and it will give you a response. And if I'm happy with the response, because the AI sometimes is different depending on when you ask it, I'll press enter and it will actually show it into Tana. Basically, what I use it for is for answering questions like this, but also sometimes for rewriting things. So one of the things I've noticed is that you can easily use it to rewrite a certain question. So for instance, rewrite the following and then non-violently. Why did you do that? And then we asked the AI to give us an option. And what it comes up with is, drumroll, what was the reason behind your decision to do that? So that's one of the things you do. You can also ask it for book summarization. So for instance, summarize the obstacle is the way. This is very helpful for sort of giving you a short and quick summary of a book before reading it or even after reading it. And it tends to be quite good. So there you get it. The Obstacle is the Way is a book by Ryan Holiday. You can also identify, like, from a piece of text, what are the keywords. So for instance, if I ask it, in this case, oh, I forgot to actually ask it something. Not the greatest. What are keywords in the text above? And let's do that. See what it comes up with. There we go. There we have the keywords: obstacle, way, Ryan Holiday, challenges, approach, thinking, decision, strength, overcome, and best version. You can ask it, of course, more questions like that. One of the things I also use it is to, strangely, to get advice. I tend to do it in the workspace for GPT-3 in the playground, but it also works quite well here. So, for instance, when I'm coaching someone and I'm struggling with how to help them, the AI often has some interesting insights. So, for instance, someone at my work does not feel validated. How can I best approach this? Well, there's a typo in there, but it won't matter for the AI. It will still give you the answer. And usually it ends up giving me, well, quite some good advice. Here you go. So first, it's important to take the time to listen to the person and really understand their feelings. Ask open-ended questions to get the root of the problem, etc., etc., etc. So it's nice to get this overview of how you actually want to do it. So some other things, generating data like I used in the video. For instance, give me 10 names of famous people, and tag them with, and now it gets tricky, person at the end. And let's see what it actually does. Trying to do that. Let's see. If it actually works. There we go. And then when I add that, you can also see, hey, this interesting thing, because I use the Tana paste format, it actually shows it as pasted. In theory, it can do more. It can also do fields and stuff like that, but it also tends to struggle with the structure a bit. So it's not as deterministic, which, well, if you ask it the same question, it will answer differently every time. But it tends to help to try and ask it to shape the way you ask it in a certain way, so it keeps owing this. To end with, I wanted to show how I actually use the more playground. So here, this is the actual playground for GPT-3, and I can actually use it to do a little bit more introspection. I often use it to talk to myself, in a sense. So I will set the scene. So for instance, like in my previous version, I have a coworker called, I think we called him Arturo. He is my report. So this is just to give the AI some sort of basic idea. I am his coach, and he has asked me to help him overcome a challenge at work. He is in a fight with a coworker. How should I help him? And then I asked the AI to sort of fill it in. So first of all, I would recommend that Arturo and his coworker sit down and have a conversation about the issue. It is important that they are both heard and that they listen to each other. Okay, so finally it's important that Arturo maintains a positive attitude and keeps an open mind. And I can actually continue asking questions to sort of use it to shape my actual thoughts on the things. So for instance, I should suggest, so what if Arturo doesn't want to do any of this? So let's have Arturo be a little bit like Ante. So if Arturo does not want to take the necessary steps to resolve the conflict, it's important that he's still respectful towards his coworker and does not make the situation work. So in this way, I tend to be able to sort of spar ideas with the AI, and sometimes it comes up with surprising insights. And the more actually you talk, the more context it knows, the more it will actually help you off. So I think this is where I'll end the video. In my real work, I often use the AI to sort of explain words during meetings, to explain concepts during meetings, to give me some suggestion. Sometimes when I'm writing, I will ask it to write a passage. I will ask it to summarize stuff. I will ask it basic information about almost anything. And it tends to be faster than Google because it sort of gives you exactly what you want and nothing more. It's still the basics of this, and I would love to see this basically natively integrated into Tana, being able to sort of feed these prompts and play with it in a more native way. But for now, this works. Okay, thank you for listening, and that's it for today.